Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video there is quite a few topics to delve into. I am going to be giving you a bit more additional information on Jack Grealish, then I'm going to be giving you some latest news on Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund and that. So let's start with the news on Jack Grealish. So according to recent reports, our pursuit of Jack Grealish depends on Paul Pogba's future, because there is a lot of uncertainty over Paul Pogba's future at the football club. Now, obviously, you had Alan Hutton coming out yesterday, who is a former Aston Villa player. I updated you about this, and he did say that Villa will find it impossible to keep Jack Grealish if they do get relegated. As it stands at the moment, Aston Villa are sitting in the relegation zone. Now, Aston Villa have quoted out saying that they do want £80 million for Jack Grealish, regardless of whether they get relegated or not. But Man United, may have strong reservations about paying, £80 million for Grealish. I think it did confirm we are keen on getting Grealish for around £50 million. Don't forget, it's also recently confirmed that Jack Grealish purchased a guide dog for around £25,000 for protection, reflecting on, Dele Alli's robbery, which was not too long ago. Jack Grealish, of course, is one of our priority targets. Now, like I said, Jack Grealish has been at Aston Villa for several years. Up until this point, he's spent the entirety of his career with Aston Villa. He has been a Villa player since the age of 6. He's been in their senior squad since 2014. And since then, he has become an integral part of Aston Villa's team. He's flourished under Dean Smith's guidance. He was key for Villa getting promotion to the Premier League. He was also key for Villa progressing to the Carabao Cup final this season. And Grealish has got a contract with Aston Villa until 2023. And obviously, like we revealed, Jack Grealish is our preference over James Maddison. Because there's a couple of main explanations, why Grealish is our preference over James Maddison. Is because Grealish has been in better form than Maddison, is more versatile than Maddison, and Grealish's stats have been much better than James Maddison's in that. And of course, Jack Grealish is well Premier League proven. Now, of course, Jack Grealish can play as an attacking midfielder, and he can also play as a winner. But I do expect Jack Grealish to leave Aston Villa. There's not only been my club, Man United, in for him. There has been quite a few clubs that have been in for Jack Grealish. And obviously, revert back to March, which was quite a few months ago now. Don't forget, Jack Grealish had that incident with his £80,000 Range Rover. And obviously, reflects on that incident. It said his move away from Aston Villa in the summer, was looking very, very unlikely. Reflects on that incident, Jack Grealish got fined £150,000 because of that. He got fined £150,000. But obviously, hours before the incident, Jack Grealish had advised people to stay at home due to the coronavirus pandemic. So our pursuit of Jack Grealish now depends on Paul Pogba's future. The ongoing situation with Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba is now back from injury, because Paul Pogba was out with an ankle injury. And reflects on that, he's only played 8 times this season for the football club. His appearances have been limited due to his injuries. The last game Paul Pogba played was our 4-1 win against Newcastle on Boxing Day. And the last time he started from the start was back in September. But he is now back as Paul Pogba. And like I confirmed with you the other week, he has revealed his plans ahead of his return. And he aims to be the best player in the world. Paul Pogba was close to full fitness anyway, before the football season that got suspended, because don't forget, he had one-on-one sessions with Michael Carrick. And I'm very, very excited about Paul Pogba playing alongside Bruno Fernandes in our midfield, because they will complement each other fantastically well, because Pogba and Bruno Fernandes have not yet had the chance to play together in our midfield. Now, there is still a slight chance Paul Pogba could leave the football club in the summer transfer window. Like I mentioned to you, if Paul Pogba does leave Manchester United, I think, he will make a return back to Juventus. obviously, Paul Pogba did endure 4 good years in Turin, but the vast majority of his performances at Man United since he rejoined the football club, have been totally comparison to his ones at Juventus. Like I said, Real Madrid have also been in for him. Don't forget, Real Madrid were relentlessly linked with Paul Pogba last summer. But obviously, reflecting on, the substantial amount we put on him, his move to Real Madrid didn't materialise because Real Madrid were not willing to meet our £180 million valuation for the player and that. But yeah, but obviously, it said the other week that Juventus had, dropped their interest in Paul Pogba, because of his wages. Swap deals have been on the agenda as well. Don't forget, there's been talks of Adrian Rabiot coming to Man United for Pogba going to Juventus. They've also offered us Federico Bernardeschi. They've offered us Douglas Costa. Matthijs de Ligt's been spoken about as well. Aaron Ramsey. But, swap deals are very, very rare in the modern game. They really, really are. And that. So, yeah. And Paul Pogba's got exactly a year left now on his Manchester United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. But we said if we was to sell Paul Pogba in the summer transfer window, we'd want at least £100 million for the player and that. But reports did confirm the other week that Ed Woodward had actually lowered Paul Pogba's asking price from £150 million to £100 million. But I said if we do sell him, it's very imperative that we get more than the £89 million, that we did pay for him. But he has had a long-running transfer saga since he did rejoin the football club. Now, obviously, in recent weeks as well, PSG have been in for Paul Pogba. Also, too, Inter Milan have been in for Paul Pogba. Barcelona have also been in for him in the past. Like I revealed, Paul Pogba endured a very, very difficult time under the Jose Mourinho era. But so too did a lot of top players because Mourinho's got a bad reputation with top players. Don't forget we had Paul Pogba when he was a lot younger under the Alex Ferguson era. But, obviously, we had to let Paul Pogba go due to limited appearances. But we do need, like I said to you, we need to make a decision on his future before the season does restart. I think he will be here next season, but I'm not too sure about the foreseeable future. Paul Pogba has won 2 trophies at the football club, and that was the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season at Manchester United. And his wages at Manchester United are like £300,000 a week. So there has been a few players on our agenda who could replace Paul Pogba at the football club and that. Like I confirmed with you, I think I mentioned it this morning. That we have now, we did return to training on Wednesday. Obviously, a lot of clubs up and down the country have recently returned to training because the Premier League did confirm on a statement on Monday that, clubs had voted to return to smaller training groups. This is very, very good news. So this is a step forward to resuming the season. But yeah, we have recently returned to training. Our players were at Carrington on Sunday to get tests for COVID-19. But Solskjaer confirmed a couple of weeks ago anyway that we have got a fully fit squad for when the season does resume. We've got a fully fit squad. Because Rashford's now back as well because, he was out with a back injury, was Rashford. He did sustain the back injury in January in our 1-0 win against Wolves in the FA Cup 3rd round replay and that. But Rashford's been visiting Carrington in the last couple of weeks to step up his fitness regime. But we've had a lot of injuries this season, so reflecting on that, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has made rotations in the squad. So yeah. Now, let's delve into the news on Jadon Sancho. So the news is on Jadon Sancho. According to recent reports, Bayern Munich have entered the race for Jadon Sancho. Like you updated you on my video I did this morning. By the way, I think it is still uploading. Borussia Dortmund have delayed Jadon Sancho's departure and they are willing to wait until the transfer market stabilises before selling Sancho. So I think Dortmund are waiting for transfer fees to be back to normal. And Dortmund have still said, they want at least £100 million for the player. We confirmed the other week, we are not willing to smash our transfer record for Jadon Sancho. Because it said last week we was only willing to pay 60 or £70 million for him. But neither of them figures are going to be enough to convince Borussia Dortmund to offload him. David Ornstein, he's been talking a lot about Sancho recently, and he said there's a very high chance that Manchester United will sign him in the summer. This is what, David Ornstein said, and David Ornstein's a very credible journalist. But he did say last week, though, that Dortmund will not sell Sancho for less than £100 million. The Borussia Dortmund managing director did say, though, that he expects players' transfer valuations to drop due to the coronavirus crisis. Now, as you all know, Jadon Sancho is our number one priority target. So Bayern Munich are the latest team to be in for him. Real Madrid have been in for him. Liverpool have been in for him. Also, too, Chelsea have been in for the player. We've been in for Jadon Sancho for quite a few years. We first expressed our interest in Jadon Sancho in 2017, and this was before he went to Borussia Dortmund. Obviously, don't forget we was relentlessly linked with Jadon Sancho last year. Don't forget, we are willing to offer Jadon Sancho the number 7, because we have had number 7 vacant for quite some time. And like I said, we've had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations, but our recent number 7s haven't been so good. Like I said, if Sancho is sold, Manchester City do benefit from it. I think they do get around 15% of the transfer fee. Borussia Dortmund is the third club in Jadon Sancho's playing career. Because obviously, before he was at Dortmund, he was at Manchester City. Enjoyed a couple of years at Man City, but didn't get any first team opportunities, so that's why he left City to join Dortmund. And before he was at City, he was at Watford. He began his footballing career with Watford, so he was at Watford for several years. Dortmund, of course, only paid £8 million for Sancho, so Dortmund are looking to make around a £92 million profit on the player. Sancho's got a contract with Dortmund until 2022. But since his arrival in Germany, he's been a revelation. This has been his third season with Borussia Dortmund. Don't forget, reports confirmed the other week saying that we was planning to sign Jadon Sancho in the summer of 2021, which is next summer instead of this summer. But I think Dortmund believe that, they can convince Jadon Sancho to stay with them at least for another season. But I want him at Manchester United, and I've outlined a couple of reasons why I want him, because he's got a really, really good friendship with Rashford, and plus he is well proven in the Premier League, and he will dramatically improve us. Don't forget, we've been working on Sancho's contracts for quite some time. We've also been in negotiations with his agent, like Fabrizio Romano did confirm a while back. Borussia Dortmund are known as a selling football club because they have sold quite a few of their imperative players in recent years. They lost Dembele, Matt Hummels, Christian Pulisic, Aubameyang, Ilkay Gundogan, Mkhitaryan, Shinji Kagawa. So Dortmund have lost quite a few of their players, but there again they have recruited quite a few players in recent years. So there you go and that. So Bayern Munich are the latest team to enter the race for Jadon Sancho. So that is the latest news on him. But the question is, who are Manchester United going to sign in the summer transfer window? Because like I updated you this morning, and I also mentioned it on my video that I did yesterday night, Ed Woodward spoke to our investors on a conference call, and he's revealed our latest financial figures. And Manchester United's debt has risen up to £429.1 million. The club are no longer predicting revenues of up to £580 million. Ed Woodward had given a statement yesterday, and he also said the coronavirus pandemic is one of the hardest moments in Manchester United's 142-year history. So this is what Ed Woodward had come out and said. And he's obviously not optimistic about the season returning in June, because the season's supposed to be resuming. Is it on the 18th or the 9th of June? Could actually resume on the 12th of June, like I mentioned. It just depends on the fitness levels and that. So reflecting on, the latest financial figures, who can Manchester United sign? Is Jadon Sancho now to Man United in doubt? Is Moussa Dembele and Sol Niguez to Manchester United in doubt? I don't know. But, the coronavirus pandemic has cost Manchester United £28 million. But we do expect the final figure to be much higher than that. So, But, Solskjaer's already confirmed, he wants to make around 3 or 4 signings in the summer because he believes we need around 3 or 4 signings to become title contenders next season. And he's already identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up. He wants to recommend the centre forward in. He also wants to recommend the right winger in. He wants to recommend the midfielder in. And there's still some reports saying, that he wants to recommend a centre half in that. He still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young British talents to Manchester United like he did do last summer and that. Obviously, he's going to focus on the outgoings as well as the incomings in the summer transfer window because he's got decisions to make in the summer. Who's he going to recommend in and who's he going to get rid of. I think, the players we're going to get rid of is Phil Jones, Lingard, Andres Pereira. Dalot could possibly go as well. We've got to make a decision on Diego Dalot's future. But Solskjaer, I think, wants to keep him, even though it did recently say that Barcelona and PSG have expressed their interest. Yeah, I think we'll get rid of Smalling and Rojo on permanent transfers. We'll probably loan Alexis Sanchez back out. We're going to allow James Garner to go out on loan next season. I think Chong could go out on loan. Dylan Levitt could go out on loan. Ethan Laird could go out on loan. So we are going to loan, quite a few players out. But since Solskjaer got recommended into the football club, he has offloaded 19 players. So he has got rid of a lot of the deadwood, to be fair, as Solskjaer. So he's going to get rid of around 6 or 7 players in the summer. Obviously, Ed Woodward, like I said, he released that statement yesterday. But he did say last month, Ed Woodward, that we won't do business as usual in the summer transfer market. So, in a way, he ruled out big transfers to Manchester United and he says, we won't be spending hundreds of millions of pounds. I heard Solskjaer was going to get around £200 million to spend in the summer transfer window. And Solskjaer, did make an admission a couple of weeks ago saying that we will enjoy a different transfer window. But a lot of clubs, are going to face an unprecedented summer transfer window with the financial issues with the coronavirus pandemic and that. So there you go. But Solskjaer knows he's got the backing of Ed Woodward. He's also got the backing of the Glazers. And Ed Woodward has assured quite a few times this season that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe, even though we have enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. But like I said, there's decisions we've got to make before the season restarts. We've got to make a decision on Odion Ighalo's future. We've got to make a decision on Paul Pogba's future, make a decision on Diego Dalot's future. Solskjaer himself has got to, make a decision on his best 11. It's going to be interesting to see the 11 he does go with in the game against Tottenham because that is the first Premier League game back. Maybe, he needs to make a decision whether he's going to give the youngsters more opportunities. Some youngsters have been given their chances, some youngsters haven't really been given their chances. Don't forget, when the season does resume, we have got things to look forward to. Obviously, we're chasing that top 4. We are 3 points behind Chelsea at the moment, don't forget. We're 5th and we're 3 points behind Chelsea, yeah. I'm very convinced we can get qualification for the Champions League for next season. Also, too, the FA Cup and the Europa League are priorities for us because it's a chance for us getting some silverware on the board. Don't forget, we are into the last 8 of the Europa League. We are into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. So, there you go and that. So, we have got things, to definitely focus on. But yeah, Solskjaer, I do believe, needs to work out his best formation as well because he has been changing formation persistently this season. He's been going like with a 3-5-2, the 4-2-3-1, the 4-3-3. From my own perception, will look more expansive with that 3-5-2 formation. So there you go. Other players that have been on our agenda, like I've updated, Jude Bellingham. He's been a player on our agenda. We're hoping to get Jude Bellingham on the board. Like I said, he's going to cost us around £30 million. He's Bellingham. Don't forget, want to get his brother as part of the deal as well, who's called Joe Bellingham. He's only the age of 15. Yeah, so he's another one of our priority targets. You already know the news as well on Dembele and Saul Niguez. You know the news on Haaland. Give you the update regarding Haaland this morning. So there has been so many players on our agenda now. Like I said, I've seen changes under Solskjaer than what I saw under Jose Mourinho because Solskjaer was talking about, the changes he has made at the club since, he replaced Jose Mourinho. This was before the football season got suspended, and I've also seen improvements in that. So there you go. And Solskjaer has been at the football club now for a good 17 months. So he has been at the football club over a year. But Solskjaer does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows at Man United. And he does deserve at least another season at the football club, because don't forget, Solskjaer was really, really close to getting sacked early on in the season. But obviously, then Pochettino was on our agenda. Don't forget, went in for Pochettino before Solskjaer got before Solskjaer got the job permanently back in March. Don't forget Massimiliano Allegri was on our agenda in that, but Solskjaer was very, very close to getting sacked. Like I said, I think we've improved in the transfer market under Solskjaer. He's recommended the players in that I wanted to recommend in. We have got 5 players in so far. Spent £220 million, but the 5 players Solskjaer recommended in have been very, very impressive. In the summer transfer window will be Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager. So there you go. And that, like I said, up and down the generations, as players, that we came close to signing who we should have signed. So we have missed out on players, who we should have signed over the years. And like I've said to you anyway, we have had a lot of good players up and down the generations and that. We haven't really got the structure to keep sacking managers because, we've already sacked 3 managers since the Alex Ferguson era. We sacked Moyes, we sacked Van Gaal, and we sacked Jose Mourinho on that. And in the last 6 or 7 years, we spent close to the £1 billion range on players. Close to the £1 billion range on players. We've recruited over 30-odd players in since the Alex Ferguson era, but we have been inconsistent for the last 6 or 7 years. Like I said, the last time we dominated football was back under the Alex Ferguson era. Of course, Ferguson did endure 26 years at Manchester United. Like I said, won a total of 38 major honours, developed a lot of young players. But Ferguson, like I said, didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club when we recommended him in and that. But like I said, Man United still one of the biggest clubs in the world with fantastic history and a fantastic fan base. More successful team in England with 20 titles, 13 of them Premier Leagues. But like I said, this is the 7th season now we have failed to mount any kind of title challenge up. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013 and that. So there you go. Like I said, Solskjaer came out with some quotes yesterday saying that, he'd rather have a hole in the squad than an arsehole. He also made an admission saying that we've had players at the football club with personal agendas, and Solskjaer said, personal agendas at the football club now will not be tolerated. But one of Solskjaer's biggest tasks since he became Man United manager was getting rid of the bad attitudes, and that led to Sanchez's and Romelu Lukaku's departures from the football club last summer. But he outlined, the problems that we had in the squad last season. He said that we had injuries, there was physically tired and there was mentally tired. And Solskjaer's also been big on, personality. He was also big on personality and players fitting that squad dynamic and stuff like that. So these are some of the stuff, that I did come out and say yesterday, did Solskjaer. But he does deserve at least another season at Manchester United. He really, really does in that. But like I said, before the football season got suspended, we was in a good vein of form because we are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions. That's our best vein of form since Solskjaer was the interim manager. Like I said, he's promoted the youth well. Our record against the big 6 sides this season has also been very, very good. So there is positive you can definitely take. There really, really is in that. We've got around 9 players' contracts that are due to expire next year. We need to resolve that. But to be fair, a lot of players' contracts have been extended, since Solskjaer got recommended in to the football club and that, But there you go. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes, on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.